Big Ed here. And today I'm going to bring you this Bushnell Scope right here, and we're going to talk about this. And just a brief introduction, you can see Bushnell right there. And the other thing we'll talk about after the scope are these Leupold rings that I put the scope on with. So, give you a quick version. What you're looking at here is this is a Savage Model 93 right here. Bolt action rifle with the heavy fluted barrel, and as you can see it has a Savage Accu trigger that I'm really enjoying. But we're going to review this rifle on a later date, and today we're going to concentrate on the scope. And originally I bought this rifle at Dick's Sporting Goods for $245. And you know, it came with this scope and these rings right here. And basically I was tightening, the scope was off when I brought it home, so I tightened down the rings, and one of these bolts ended up threading right through this top of this ring into the bottom. So it's just some cheap, you know, cast pot metal aluminum. So, you know, it broke up pretty quick. So those things were junk. So I needed some new rings right here, so I bought these Leupolds. And these Leupolds are the PRW low rings. There's a model number 54144, and they're a matte aluminum finish, and they came with a torque wrench right here. So, you know, and then some, you know, basic instructions right there on how to mount them. Pretty simple though. So the reason I like these rings is most 1-inch rings right here, and this Bushnell is a 1-inch scope. If you can see inside of here, you'll see like this tape that they put in these 1-inch rings, and most cheap 1-inch rings aren't milled that great, so they put this tape in there to make up the space. These rings are really nice because they don't have that tape in them, and the way they kind of work is they go around a little more than the circumference of the scope, of half the circumference. So they kind of clip onto the scope. So basically you take the mounts apart, put the tops on, the tops clip on, mount your bases, and then bolt them all together. But definitely as soon as I pulled them out of the package, these are definitely very high quality scope mounts. And also the price was excellent on these. I saw these listed on like Midway and you know, other websites for about $60 for the pair. I was able to scoop them up on eBay for $40. And I see them a lot of buy it now. It's for $46, $47, and I highly recommend these rings right here. You know, for you know, for any sort of a rifle. But I'm having huge problems with cheap rings, and any cheap scope ring, they're not worth it. And actually, I think a lot of these rifles that come with scopes, the scope ring is the worst part of it. It's not the scope anymore. It's these rings are just horrible, and they fall off. These big things, I hate these too. These things never always seem to come loose. You know, even with a 22 long rifle, I've had big problems with my 1022 keeping the scope on. That I replace the scope rings on. So these are excellent scope rings, and I highly recommend them, and they seem to work great. You know, granted, this is only 22 Win Mag, so it's not getting a big beating, but you know, I can tell a quality piece, and you know, you've got, you know, they're double bolt holes on each side right here, you know, 2 on the mount. So these are quality pieces, and you can just feel these are nicely milled out of aluminum. So those are good mounts. So let's get back to the scope. So this scope, basically, I bought this rifle thinking I was just going to get rid of this scope and, you know, put a Nikon, either a fixed 4-power or a 2x7, you know, one of those the Pro line they have, Pro Staff. And so I you know, I started using the scope, sighted in the gun. I'm like, this thing's not that bad. And I'm like, it's actually kind of nice to look through. So this Bushnell is pretty cool. So I you know, I'm like, I'll do a video on it. I'll share it with everybody. And you know, it's got aluminum caps. I was pretty impressed with these right here. Usually these are cheap plastic and they split like the second time you take them off. But you know, this is a 1/4 inch MOA, and you can grab that right there and, you know, adjust it. So that works pretty well. And the rifle's pretty well zeroed right now. But I was really happy with this scope, and it just has a regular duplex reticle. I'm guessing this scope sells for anywhere between $50 to $75 in the store. So, you know, I figured that's probably an easy $50 on eBay, so I'd be into this rifle for $200. So, you know, I was really happy with that. You know, really nice scope and really nice to look through. And again, regular duplex reticle. But you know, I know Bushnell's been coming up with their quality of optics. I've never, you know, most of their stuff is low rent, so I've kind of stayed away from it. You know, if I buy anything, you know, less expensive with an optic, I'm looking at Nikon. I'm a big Nikon fan, and I think Nikon makes good stuff. I have a big Nikon camera too. So just wanted to share this with you, and I'll try to get one closing shot, through the reticle, and we'll take a look at something outside. But thanks for watching, folks, and watch for this upcoming review on this Savage Model 93 and 22 Win Mag. This gun's a lot of fun, and this is a really high setup. The other thing I wanted to point out too was a lot of guys will really get excited at this. Look at how close that scope is to the barrel right there, and that's with these mounts right here. And I just basically sized these ones up and kind of just like eyeballed it on the internet, and I'm like, yeah, the low ones will work, and they actually bring it down lower than those stock ones did. So that's pretty cool, so this should be a real good long range monster right here, this rifle. But thanks for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up, or subscribe. If you have any questions, post them below. I love answering questions, any of you guys. And I recommend this Bushnell Simple 3x9 scope right here. It's a 1-inch tube, pretty short and sweet. The only thing it doesn't come with that I didn't like was it didn't come with the lens covers. So I'll order some of those. You have to have covers on your optics. Don't buy optics without covers, and put any scope gun either in a rifle safe or in a case, a lock case, and you got to protect your optics. Even a less expensive optic. It's a pretty nice optic for this gun. I bet it'll be on here for a long time. But thanks for watching, folks. So there's a view right there through the optic. That's on 3 magnification, but you can see the back of my truck right there. But you can see that's a pretty nice reticle, and it's a pretty good image for just me holding the rifle and the scope right in front of the camera right there. And it's twisted. I'm just making it work so you guys can see it. But thanks for watching, guys and gals.